certificate or diploma. A little bit on the fence, but we said that was no problem.
Okay. Do we all agree with that? What about completing classes? Is really an output. I mean, we're just counting the number of people that enroll, the number that attend, the number that complete. It's really an output. We're looking for that change. Did you accomplish something? If perhaps it said you completed a class and you earned a certificate or a diploma, that would be an outcome because you've accomplished something, something's changed. That make sense? Okay, let's do one more. Brian?
The tutoring program,
Yep.
20 children in grades 4 to 8 are matched with high school tutors. We put as output, children's academic performance increases, outcome, children indicate increased belief in their abilities to learn new subjects, outcome, children receive one-to-one help in reading and math, output, and tutors emphasize the importance of education as output.
Do we agree with that? We do. Very good. You're all really smart. So what we're trying to do is not minimize this at all. It's really important to understand what the differences are. You know, that an output is something that is a service that we're doing or providing, we're doing something. And an outcome is the change. It's the accomplishment of something. So we want to make sure that we've got our family need and we've got our desired outcome. But now we have to figure out how we're going to achieve that result. So we want to talk about brainstorming a little bit more and talk about some of the things that we can do. What are the activities that we can do? Should we abandon something to provide a new service? Should we add something different? Should we mix it up? Should we strengthen something? What are the essential services and activities that we need to do to make sure that we are achieving our desired outcome? These are our strategies. These are the things that we need to think about. How are we going to get from point A to point B? Okay? So, so if we could just brainstorm a little bit, a service or activity that we can come up with that would address that housing need that we identified. Families and individuals need safe and affordable housing. Families and individuals get safe and affordable housing. How are we going to get them there? How are we going to achieve that outcome? Anybody have any ideas on how we're going to do that? Bill?
I think we should build more affordable housing.
Build more affordable housing.
I think we should tell common ground. Bill and more.
CTI should build, oh, let's resources.
Okay, that's a good strategy. What else could we do? How else could we get to our desired outcome? Ed?
Identify subsidized housing resources in the community.
Identify subsidized housing resources in the community. Okay, Joseph going to scribe for me. So, who else? Anybody have any other ideas? Michael?
Advocate for more subsidized housing, more vouchers.
Advocate for more subsidized housing, more vouchers. Kristen?
Provide tenant education around accessing affordable housing.
Provide, okay. Hold that thought while tenant education around access to affordable housing or subsidized housing. Kimberly?
Landlord education on how to be a good landlord with income challenges.
Landlord education. Very good. Karen?
Provide individualized housing search for those who need it. Thank you.
Individualized housing search for those who need it. Anybody else have any ideas? Barbara, did you have something?
Well, I was thinking more of like decreasing rent burdens by increasing income.
Decreasing rent burden by increasing income. Okay.
You already had yours.
Bill, your job.
Bill gets two.
How about getting DHCD to understand that it's very difficult to finance housing and they need to do it better?
So advocating that, advocating
Policy
for
advocacy. Policy advocating
around housing development.
around housing development. Susan?
Could you put in providing energy conservation services to reduce the cost?
Providing energy conservation services that will reduce the cost of housing. Anyone else?
I'd say work with the legislature or funders on rules regarding housing vouchers and subsidized housing. And I know that's really broad, but I'm thinking in terms of payment standards that we work with. I'm thinking in terms of utility allowance. I'm thinking in terms of some of the rules, the complicated rules they have in place that end up making housing access more difficult.
Okay, so working more with our legislators.
Simplifying and streamlining regulations.
Yes, thank you
That's
for
it.
simplifying, streamlining my response.
I might fit up there.
Easier to navigate
Making it easier to navigate.
and obtain.
So again, when we talk about community need, family need, and agency need, the strategies that we employ to meet those needs have to align. Okay, so we decided on a family and individual need, which is families and individuals need safe and affordable housing. Our outcome is a family need. Families get safe and affordable housing. So our strategies need to focus on family. So of all of these that we came up with, some of these great ideas, which ones do you think would be a family, would address the family issue that we've identified earlier? So, let me see, building more affordable housing. That might be a community need, community strategy. Energy services to reduce housing costs. Providing energy services to reduce housing costs.
Could be family, could be community.
Yeah, I think that could certainly serve as a family need. Identifying subsidized housing resources in the community. Advocating for more stable state housing resources. Just gonna put a star here. Advocating for more housing vouchers. Community, agency, what you said? I don't think it's a family. Decrease rent burden and increase income. Family. Tenant education. Working with legislators to make the rules and the process easier to navigate to obtain subsidized and public housing. multi-family. Landlord education. Who could benefit from landlord ed besides landlords? Do you think families could?
Yeah.
I think so. And housing search. Family, right, definitely. So what we've done here is we've actually come up with a number of different strategies that relate to our family need and our family outcome. And these are the kinds of things that we will look at as some of the activities that we can do to ensure that families get safe and affordable housing. We'll help them with energy costs to reduce their housing, overall housing costs. We can decrease their rent burning by helping them get jobs and increasing their income. We can work on tenant education, and we can work with landlords and helping landlords to work better with our tenants and our families. And we can provide housing search to families to make sure that they are able to find more affordable housing. We've got a lot of strategies in place here. So what we're going to do is take grab a sticky note here. Okay. And we're going to put an S on our sticky note, which goes on the floor. Actually, right here. So now we've made the connection between our need and our outcome. And these are the strategies that we'll employ to achieve them. All right, we are running short on time. So we're going to just go through one more example. This is an interesting one to me. It's called proxy outcomes. We're going to talk a little bit about proxy outcomes and what they mean. Okay? How many people have heard of the term proxy? We all have, right? We know that proxy is something that stands in for something else. Most often you think about it as, if you're a stakeholder in or you were fortunate enough to buy some great stock or something, and the stakeholder meeting is being held in California, and you get this piece of mail that says, could you please send us your vote by proxy? Okay, we can't get there, but you can certainly provide your input. Okay, so in some instances, the receipt of a service can be assumed to be an outcome. Okay, what I mean by that is sometimes outputs stand in for outcomes. And usually we're counting things. Outputs are sometimes just, doing something. The numbers who were enrolled, the numbers of hours, and so on and so on. But, it's assumed, let's say for instance, that somebody is enrolled in a Meals on Wheels program, right? And it is assumed that if that person receives a meal in their home and they eat the food that they received, it's pretty safe assumption to say that hunger was reduced for that individual. Reduction of hunger is an outcome. Providing a meal is an output. When we think about, the proxy outcomes are not something we use commonly, but they are a very acceptable outcome when we have evidence-based research that says, yes, this will lead to an outcome. For instance, an after-school program in your workbook, another example, is that, a school program that includes a homework helper component. We're helping kids do their homework. We should be able to identify improvements in grades for students who attend. These are measurable outcomes for the program. But the sort of underlying outcomes are also the the fact that these kids are enrolled in an after-school program and they're not hanging out on the streets after school. They're, sometimes communities will say, we're seeing a reduction in juvenile crime because kids are enrolled in an after-school program. A reduction in teen pregnancies might be another considered proxy outcome. Okay, so again, you were counting the numbers of students who attend the program, the after-school program, but research and evidence-based research is telling us that it's got some really significant outcomes attached to that.
So one of, like, for instance, in WIC, if you give good nutrition to a mother when she has a baby, then there's fewer low birth weight babies. Somebody else has researched that, so that would be
Absolutely.
used that as a proxy.
Yes, and WIC is a good example because there's been a lot of research done on good, healthy nutrition, growth in nutrition, and child development. And, we issue a WIC check, and our caseload is about over 5,000 women, infants, and children. It's not feasible that we could actually measure the improved nutritional well-being of 5,000 people. Yet we know, like the example we use with the Meals on Wheels, that the WIC check is being issued. People are purchasing healthy, nutritious foods with their WIC checks from the supermarket, from the farmer's market. They're eating those foods. It is certainly safe to assume that their health and nutrition is going to be improved because of that. So that's what we mean about a proxy outcome. It's not used all the time, but it certainly can be used when we have evidence-based research to stand by it. Does that make sense to folks? Okay. Proxy outcome is something that we also put on our logic model, and it's placed over here. Again, not something that's commonly used, which is why it's over here and not up in the upper level, but want to make you cognizant of the possibilities for using one. All right, so we're going to wrap up now. We're just going to review our key points that we went through. But it's not unusual for nonprofit agencies or community-based organizations to first go after funds like grants and then figure out what the program is about and what it hopes to accomplish. This kind of management has limitations, doesn't it? As identified in the comparison between the service provision model and the strategic thinking model. The appropriate management is based on the ROMA cycle, right here, using the mission, the needs assessment, and identification of outcomes as the driving forces in the selection of the strategies and services that we will offer. Anybody have any questions? None? Okay, I think we're ready to have some lunch. So thank you very much.